bags were horror lies.
Hello and welcome to Body Bags. It feels good saying that again. Okay, the first one in the bag. So I decided to take a look at a very Giallo-esque slasher, an All-American Murder. One that's recently been put out by Vinegar Syndrome, and it's directed by Anson Williams, someone who I was not familiar with, and apparently this is their one-time movie that they directed, and I said it's a very Giallo-esque kind of slasher that they've gone for. We have the always awesome Christopher Walken and the how should I say, Charlie Schlatter. Yeah. One of my big problems with this movie. So the character that he's meant to be portraying, for me, he's just very badly cast. It needed someone else, like someone like I don't know, like a Brad Pitt or someone like that. Someone that's like kind of good looking, edgy, has this dark side to them. Is kind of not necessarily physically imposing, but he's just really small and he just looks like a child, and he doesn't look mean or anything. He's meant to be being kicked out of all these different schools and a bit of an arsonist. When you see him, he's in this prison, and he just doesn't fit. He doesn't fit. And this is what I find the biggest challenge is when he's on screen with Christopher Walken. So he's our main character, so he's been given the better lines. There's a lot of cheesy one-liners, and if you have someone with more screen presence, I think it would have come across less cheesy, but him saying it's just more jokey. And I feel it also, you get a more, when Walken bursts into the movie, he's just oozing out of how he normally is in his films. And then when he's with like Charlie Schlatter, he's more it's like he's diluted himself. He knows he's not the main one on screen, and he's like, I mean, he's not always the main one on screen, but he really has to dial it down, because he'll just be like, just completely wash over this Charlie guy. So I mean, I know him from, what was it, Diagnosis Murder, and I think he probably fit that quite well, but in this sort of movie, he just doesn't fit for me. He was badly, for what I felt, badly miscast. But anyway, yeah, he's this kind of college kid who's been kicked out, all these different schools, and he's going to try and give it a go here. And he meets this really pure kind of girl he falls madly in love with, like very, very quickly. And she gets burnt to death. This is like the kind of Giallo-esque kind of bits, because like you see like these different murders throughout the film, and you see the black gloves and all this sort of thing. It's the murder mystery kind of thing with the graphic kills. And I don't want to give this one away, actually. No, I'm not going to kind of tell you who the killer is at the end, but it's interesting. Like I said, it's less slasher, more Giallo for me. You have your murder mystery, very, very much a murder mystery, and then you have your more punchy, graphic kind of kills in there. You have they're all right. There's a kind of an amusing one with like a grenade later in the end, like you kind of see it on the cover, and you don't see it, but you see kind of the aftermath sort of thing. It's quite good. And there's a few different, like, interesting kills, like I said, the one I mentioned earlier. This is his love interest, this pure being, gets burnt alive. There's snake death, stabbings. There's all these different bits and pieces. Guy who's drilled into a drill in the forehead and stuff like that. And it's not bad. It's not bad, but I do have a problem with the casting, and it really jars for me. he brings this jokiness that none of the other characters bring. So he's not on the same level as everything else that's being kind of thrown at you in the movie. It's almost like he's read a different version of the script, or that he's been told to, you have the same version of the script, but his is like, now let's try a bit of a jokey one-liner version, and that's what he's going to, and everyone else isn't going to that. And that, like I said, that's what my problem is. I think I would have enjoyed this film a lot more if it would have been better cast. Even like a Johnny Depp, someone that has that kind of, you can see there's that dark edginess to them, and they're kind of like, they don't have to be physically big, but this guy is so small. He's kind of, and he's running around in shorts the whole movie. It's like, they don't help him. So yeah, he's just like this super good kid. This is what I think he's like 25 when this was made, but it's just not believable. He just does not fit the role for me. I'm not saying he's a terrible actor. Just for me, the role that he's trying to play in this, it just doesn't. It doesn't do it. Is it give you kind of an idea? So this is the cover. This is the slip art. You can see like how he is. Doesn't look like that once in the movie. He looks a bit grumpy sometimes, but it's all, even when he's like faced with like, you're probably going to be done for these different murders and that, it's just one-liners keep coming out, and it did damage the film for me. Yeah, maybe if it's someone else doing the one-liners, like I said, it could have been quite a bit better, but maybe the tone of the film, the script, for me, there's quite a few jarring elements. It's like, yeah, it could have been more polished. I don't know if this film was like fairly badly received at the time, which is why this is like a one-time hit for our director, or why. I mean, it's not a terrible film. It's just a fairly forgettable film. To be honest, it's like a giallo for beginners, I'd say, something like that, because it's not really difficult. Giallos aren't difficult to follow, but they have more depth to them, and they have like really good kills, and the acting, there's kind of interest. They tend to be, well, if you look at the bigger ones, like the better ones, they've got pretty good casting, and they got half of it right. I thought Walken in this role is really good, but like I said, it starts off great, and then it's just diluted all the way through, and the problem is he's just a bit of a nice guy at the end, and that's not what you want from Walken. You want a bit of a bastard role. He starts off like that, and then he just gets kind of like a nice dad role, and he's almost like acting like the kid's dad at the end. And yeah, anyway, I'm making it sound like don't watch this. It's worth a watch. It is worth a watch. I would give it a go. But that's the end of the review. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you very much. Bye bye.